In 1948, Burma gained its independence after being colonized by the British Empire for more than 100 years. After independence, Burma had a parliamentary democracy system for 10 years. However, by the early 60s, Burma was under military dictatorship when a military coup led by General Ne Win brought the army to power. The full ramifications of this change in government was brought to light in 1988, when people around the country demonstrated for democracy against a military regime which had ruled the country for almost 3 decades. Thousands of people were killed as a result of the regime's brutal crackdown on the protesters. Aung San Suu Kyi, Nobel Peace Prize winner and daughter of national leader Aung San, has become the leader of the movement that seeks to bring democracy and freedom to the country. In 1990, the military regime responded to the uprising by holding elections, which resulted in a landslide victory by the NLD. Following the election, the military refused, and still refuses, to relinquish power to the NLD. After 1988, many people were put in prison for their political beliefs, the greatest number in Burma's history. Although the international community has attempted to free Burma from the repressive regime, yet another violent massacre took place on May 30th, 2003. The regime launched a terrorist attack on peaceful democracy activists in Daepayin Township, resulting in at least 70 activists killed, hundreds detained, and many still missing. As I was sentenced under state protection law, I was treated as a rebel. I was put alone. They didn't allow me to walk outside my cell except when I was taken to have a shower. Moreover, prison staff were ordered to stay away from my cell because they would secretly provide me some snacks and meals. Even Aung San Suu Kyi, who actively advocates on behalf of prisoners to the internal and international community, was detained after the attack. Now she too is yet again a political prisoner for the 3rd time. Once in 1989 for 7 years, then in 2000, and now again in 2003.
Those who are at liberty to express their thoughts, those who are at liberty to associate freely with others, they do not know what it is like to live in a society where you can be imprisoned for saying the wrong things, for associating with the wrong people. Wrong, let me say, in the eyes of the authorities.
Many political prisoners have died in prison as they did not receive proper medical treatment. After 1988, at least 82 political prisoners died in prison as a result of torture and ill treatment. More died after their release because of the diseases that they got in prison. The regime usually claims that political prisoners are not tortured. I met 3 other female political prisoners when I was in prison. 2 of them were forced to face the wall. They were beaten with canes. Isn't that torture? The clinic was run every Friday. A woman was sick and she requested to go there for treatment. She was allowed to go there only after prison staff scolded her. She came back later. Soon after she took some pills and then died. In 2000, former political prisoners on the Thai-Burma border set up the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners Burma, also known as the AAPP.
After I fled to the Thai-Burma border, I thought of what I could do for the democratic struggle. I consulted activists from other different organisations, and finally we discussed about the situation of political prisoners in prison, all the human rights violations by the junta, and how we can help those suffering. Once you've been a prisoner, you're always a prisoner in Burma. Some people just cannot bear such continuous harassment, but some are rearrested and some are hiding, others are trying to go into hiding. They contact opposition groups across the border. And nowadays the number of former political prisoners fleeing to the border areas is dramatically increasing.
Until all our political prisoners are free, none of us can say that Burma is now truly on the road towards democratic change. Because of that, we would like to call upon everybody who cares for the future of Burma to support the request, the demand for the release of all political prisoners speedily and unconditionally. We have had to face political persecution and imprisonment. Towards that end, we will go on working, and we hope that all our friends everywhere will support us in our endeavors. Thank you.